The Eyes of the Lord, the biblical worldview. Very, very intriguing study today. We're talking about some basic worldview questions at first sight. However, the choices that we make of how we answer to those questions launches our lives in various directions of realities. Unbelievable.
Education is about acquiring skills and knowledge, developing critical thinking, etc. One huge factor that determines how everything else develops is the starting point, how we position ourselves at the beginning, what choices do we make. In life, it's especially important what view of the world we choose, or a so-called worldview.
Our worldview, and I quote, is the filter by which we are to see and to understand the world, the study says. Basically, you either believe that everything around us came to existence by itself, on its own, out of nothing, a heartless and brute sprout of existence, or there is a divine being who created the universe. Yes, the first one is simple, purely natural, purely material. The second one encompasses not only the material, but also a broad spectrum of questions like how the world began, why does it exist? There is this spiritual element there. Imagine only how differently people will live their lives, believing those two opposites of origins of life. And yes, our study comes today with some very deep and rather philosophical questions. And the first one was, what's the nature of reality? Is it God who created it, or it came out of nothing? But also there is this philosophical question, why is there something instead of nothing? A question asked by Gottfried Leibniz. And the atheistic worldview does not give whatsoever any answer to that question, where the biblical worldview stresses right from the beginning that God created this world and the life in it. However, is that enough for our happy life and existence?
Today everyone wants to educate the others about pandemic, social justice, politics, equality, faith, religion. Much of these questions, though, depend on some choices that we make and definitions that we accept as base. What defines us as people? What defines right and wrong? What defines the future? For us as Christians, and especially as Seventh-day Adventists, we have made a rational choice to accept God's revelations in the Bible as the base of our worldview. God as the creator of life and the sustainer of life is the fundamental truth on which everything else is based. God's character of love, justice, and grace is the base of our moral compass. These are crucial blocks in Christian education. It does make a difference if people define moral criteria, in which case some are going to impose theirs on others, or if we accept a divinely set universal moral code.
Nobody views the world from a neutral point of view. Our Christian angle of understanding life and the nature of this world only starts with the creation in 7 days. But then it transitions to a more revealing education and knowledge of what Christ did to redeem us from an existence in a sinful world. If we reject this second part of redemption, then we wind up being on the same moral level as any atheist out there. After all, why being honest? Or why being conscientious? Or why being caring and supportive? Why not doing like every man doing whatever is right in his own eyes? As Deuteronomy 12:8 makes this question. And the answer is because we have a creator who gave us a code of moral to live by. Now let's go back to the beginning of our study and imagine again those two options in life. One, created from nothing with no one's intention in mind. And the second one, a loving creator who gave us purpose and a meaning of life. but also a creator who came close to us because we failed to trust him. Imagine those two options and make decision for yourself.
This lesson approaches a huge topic, but the key point is on the importance of how the worldviews that we adopt shape who we become. It may not directly make me a better driver, more skillful driver, or a doctor, a programmer, or whatever other profession, but it does shape me as a person, and this defines all areas of life. God created me. He loves me. He cares for me. He sustains me. He died for me. He saved me. He's coming back for me. He has prepared a future for me, where I'll be able to live a life as He has intended it for me, without the horrors of sin and the distractions from our separations from God.
The next week we're going to continue our topic of education with the lesson Jesus as the Master Teacher.